People are finally seeing reality of EVs. Toyota's CEO Koji Sato has long denied that electric vehicles are the only way forward for the automotive industry, and now that the segment's growth is slowing, he says he told us so. Discover Toyota's interesting pivot in the quickly changing automotive world. Let's delve into Toyota CEO Koji Sato's recent pronouncement that shook the entire auto world. While Tesla, Nissan, and Volkswagen compete to electrify their portfolios, Toyota forges its own route by relying on hybrid technology. Toyota, a pioneer in the business with its legendary Prius model, has always been a game changer. However, as the electric wave sweeps throughout the country, with cars like Tesla's Model 3 and Nissan's Leaf leading the way, Toyota's decision raises eyebrows and generates controversy. Amid a rush of EV enthusiasm spearheaded by industry titans such as General Motors, BMW, and Ford, Toyota's decision to maintain its hybrid focus demonstrates a broader perspective. Toyota's strategy in comparison to its competitors' aggressive electrified ambitions. It's more than simply a business story, it is a reflection of transportation's future, environmental sustainability, and the ever-changing tides of customer tastes. How's this for a difficult job? Taking over from the founder's grandson, who led the family business to the very top of its industry, and who's still very much in the mix as paradigm-changing disruptors force the company to transform. Such is the position Koji Sato was thrust into at Toyota Motor Corp in April, taking over from Akio Toyoda, who became chairman. The Japanese manufacturer is making and selling more cars than ever, and yet battery electric vehicles are a missing piece in its vast portfolio of products, Sato said in one of his first interviews since his promotion to Chief Executive Officer. Now, the company's chairman says that slowing sales vindicates his resistance to EVs and that people are finally seeing reality about the technology. The CEO pointed to slowing growth in the US as proof that his company's reticence towards EVs was correct. There are many ways to climb the mountain that is achieving carbon neutrality, he told reporters at the Japan Mobility Show. Although EV sales growth has slowed, the market is still growing. The Wall Street Journal reports that global sales of electric vehicles grew by 63% in 2022 and may slow to 49% in 2023. That slowdown has affected the American market in particular, where automakers GM and Ford are considering slowing production of electric pickups. Koji Sato, 54, addressed this head-on during his first news conference after his appointment was announced in late January. His declaration that Toyota needed to have an electric vehicle-first mindset was welcomed by investors eager to see the company take on the likes of Tesla Inc. and BYD Co., but that may have been perceived by some as rocking the boat. Toyota 67 is one of the industry's loudest proponents for decarbonizing cars gradually, using gas-electric hybrids for alternatives including hydrogen fuel cells. When we announced the new direction, when we used the phrase battery EV first, that was seized upon, Sato said in the interview on the sidelines of the Japan Mobility Show in Tokyo. But that speech made clear that Toyota had a multi-pathway approach and that various powertrains will be used. Toyota claimed that this is proof that if regulations are created based on ideals, it is regular users who are the ones who suffer. During his tenure as CEO, Toyota was ranked as the third most obstructive company towards government efforts to curb climate change, behind just ExxonMobil and Chevron. The World Health Organization reports that 3.6 billion people already live in areas susceptible to climate change, and that the phenomenon will cause 250,000 additional deaths per year between 2030 and 2050. However, it's not just regulators who are pushing for electric vehicles. Investors increasingly see the technology as the future, following the success of Tesla. Toyota's successor as CEO, Koji Sato, has made developing affordable EVs a priority. And at the Japan Mobility Show, the automaker showed a pair of upcoming all-electric concepts. Toyota said that concepts were the result of the automaker taking its time, though. He said that the company worked with battery makers and thought hard about what was possible. He claimed that the Japanese automotive industry's strength in the EV era will come from its decades of experience and its past experiences of failure. Toyota doesn't have to look too far back to see an experience of failure in the EV space. The BZ4X was the first attempt for the brand, which has fallen flat due to its disappointing battery range and specs. Fortunately, the automaker has been able to lean on its hybrid vehicles as a bridge into the electric era, which it claims is also the greenest way forward. Developing BEVs and selling them as products doesn't seem to be overly difficult for Toyota. Toyota is a global company. Depending on the region, there's a high need for BEVs, and there's greater and faster demand for green energy. And for those areas, BEVs are a compelling solution. Globally, however, our goals won't change. Producing and selling BEVs will need to take the nature of the region into consideration. Localization then becomes an important factor, said Sato. Toyota has a new next-generation BEV platform under development for 2026, using completely new engineering, software, and production methods. The platform we are thinking about consists of 3 layers. There's the underbody, the software platform, and the application platform. Those 3 as a set enable the platform to work together, and they are being developed simultaneously. He can understand the concern that it's overly complex, but Sato said, "Unless we have a good software platform, we can't have a good body structure. The actuation and performance change depending on the usage. So these 3, this triangle, work together. We can't just say we'll work on one because it's difficult. The value born out of the Trinity while managing risk is what we're working on." You've said Toyota needs to have a BEV first mindset. Toyota invested a lot in fuel cell electric vehicles, but industry-wide, BEVs have pulled far ahead. How committed are you to continuing to invest in FCEV? At what point do you decide BEV is the way? When we announced the new direction, when we used the phrase battery EV first, that was seized upon. But that speech made clear that Toyota had a multi-pathway approach and that various powertrains would be used. BEV was the missing piece. If BEVs are to be developed from now on, that would not be part of our conventional development process, but a new development approach. Unless we focus on a process to develop BEVs, all we would be doing is changing the powertrain and not making the BEV that we would want to make. That's why I emphasize the importance of a battery-first way of thinking. That doesn't mean Toyota will only do battery EVs from now on. When considering hydrogen, the most important thing is energy security. Depending on a single source carries higher risks, so it's important to be flexible. There's no change in the goal of reaching carbon neutrality, and we think that hydrogen is an important energy source. We want to be in a position to offer mobility based on hydrogen. Of course, electricity is important, but Toyota thinks hydrogen is an important solution. Developing and producing hydrogen and building the supply chain will take time. It's getting bigger, but it will take time. We need to boost the amount used and prepare the infrastructure. There's less downtime than with recharging, so when considering it as a fuel source, we should start from commercial applications. So that's where we're moving while taking alliances under consideration. Toyota has been speaking with a lot of enthusiasm about solid-state batteries. How confident is Toyota that the company will manage to commercialize this technology? As they announced with Idemitsu, they are targeting a mass production of solid-state batteries, and they have made a significant step. Is this a potential leapfrog technology? Does it carry the potential for Toyota to go from BEVs being a missing piece to becoming a leader in BEVs? Sato said, "It's just one variation. We don't think solid-state batteries will be a game-changer just because we have them. The value of the product won't be determined only by the battery technology being used." Toyota has bipolar lithium-ion batteries, and liquid electrolyte battery performance will improve as well. Batteries will also be multi-pathway, and at the very end, the question is what kind of car will be made. With Toyota's head of North American sales saying that demand for hybrid vehicles is smoking hot, the company is now trying to produce as many as possible. Whether that's a sign of the limits of the appeal of all-electric vehicles, a signal that buyers are reckoning with record-breaking vehicle prices, or something else remains to be seen. So that's it. What do you think about Sato's perspective? Comment down your thoughts, hit the like button, and subscribe for more. See you!